Yo, discipline. How important is discipline? It's about as important as it needs to be. Discipline empowers us. Discipline allows us to experience rich life events. Discipline lays a foundation for everything we want to be. Without discipline, without focus, without determination, because focus, determination, consistency falls under this label of discipline. And so I want to speak to discipline from two perspectives. Discipline for achieving, discipline for aligning with our values, discipline for being purposeful and living our truth, and then discipline from a perspective of restraint. That's interesting, but let me start with purposefulness. Let me start with discipline lending itself to enabling us to experience what we value most in life. And so, no doubt, life is going to be difficult sometimes. No doubt, there are going to be times when we are challenged profoundly, when we experience pain, when we experience arduous times, when we just get knocked up against the wall. Life is difficult, life is hard, and we sometimes need discipline to help us move through that. We require discipline, a mental attitude and aptitude of discipline, an emotional resilience, because resilience and toughness is part of discipline. Let me just briefly explain that. Toughness is our ability to move through difficult times. Resilience is our ability to recover from difficult times. And so that's a key component of being disciplined. And so discipline enables us to focus, enables us to keep in mind what we value most, that end goal, that prize, that purpose, the reason why we're taking action, the reason why we're immersed in something that's important to us. So discipline, the act of discipline, the expression of discipline allows us to continue through those difficult times. And so the way we can be more disciplined is to get clear on our purpose, or clear on the goal, clear on the objective, clear on the values that we're aligning ourselves with. Then the action doesn't become so arduous, the action doesn't become so strained. And so we become more inspired, we're pulled towards something as opposed to having to motivate ourselves and push towards it. That pulling energy is far more seamless and effortless and lighter than that pushing energy, having to imagine pushing a big boulder uphill. It doesn't really work. And so this discipline, it's more fun when we're really aligned with our truth. So we have to get clear on who we are and what we want and why. Like, what is our why? So that's our purpose, yeah? And so the other form of discipline, in fact, actually, let me go back one before we go to the next phase of discipline. Let me explain to you why discipline is so important in this space. And so for us as men, and I have this amazing program, Reclaim Your Kingdom, that's coming up starting in about 3 weeks' time. And it's all about masculinity. How do we cultivate healthy forms of masculinity? Because in the past, we have been, when we've been disciplined as men, sometimes we haven't been disciplined from an authentic place or from a place of integrity. So we've been disciplined for the sake of being disciplined. We've been disciplined because we think we have to do something. We have to meet someone else's standards. And so there's resentment that's attached to that discipline. So the outcome that we experience, we don't really relish in it. We don't find joy and happiness in it. And so healthy masculinity, healthy expressions of being a man tells us that we're disciplined for the right reasons. We're disciplined because we're in alignment with what we value most and what's important to us. It's a crucial point when it comes to discipline. And then discipline doesn't become this harsh word or this harsh term or this harsh practice, but rather discipline becomes something that is just easy almost. Hard to imagine, right? Because when we think of discipline, we generally associate discipline with something of, there's a rigidity to it, like a harshness. Not the case. Let me go to this other aspect of discipline. Sometimes we need to express and hold discipline in our field when we are tempted with a value that we don't agree with. For example, in my life as a man, I've been tempted with many hedonistic experiences, whether it be women, whether it be drugs, whether it be alcohol. And now when I wasn't clear in my own mind and in my own being, expressing discipline was a real fucking challenge. It was difficult. When I had clarity on my values and what was important to me, and when I had clarity on the type of man I wanted to be, discipline wasn't an issue. The restraint was easy. It was, does that align with my values? Clear no, I'm out. I'm moving away from that. And so that becomes empowering for us. And so for me in the past, discipline as a man has been really challenging when I haven't been clear in here and open in here and clear in here. When I was out of integrity, when I wasn't understanding and self-aware of who I really was and what I wanted in life. I was aimlessly wandering through life, and discipline then was really difficult, and it became motivation. I would do something because I thought it was right. That doesn't last forever, and we succumb to these temptations. We succumb to these hedonistic experiences. Now, let me be really clear on something. There's nothing wrong with hedonism at all. Anything in extreme is not healthy for us because it consumes us and we become obsessed with it, and that behavior is just unhealthy, and it doesn't serve us and it doesn't serve our relationships. So the whole point of discipline is to make discipline easy, and so it simply becomes action that's consistent and persistent. It becomes a value set that's embedded within who we are, and that, people, I fucking love, because then we become clearly and openly empowered. And so that's a spin on discipline. Discipline doesn't need to be something that we hate on, or that's difficult, or that's really challenging, or that we're fighting against constantly. Discipline can be part of our lives to help us be inspired and focus on what we are really attracted to and what we value most, what's most important to us in life. So if you have a business that you really value, a business in your service in the world, and by the way, thank you for everyone that's joining and being on here right now as well. Really appreciate it. If you have a business, a service in the world, sometimes you're going to encounter difficult times. You're going to encounter challenges. Guess what? Here you need discipline in the form of focus, persistence, and consistency. And that's derived from, and that you'll be able to be really proficient at being disciplined when you align your actions with your vision. And your vision is aligned with your greatest values. Men, do not underestimate the power of clarity. Mental clarity is fucking intense and immense. Now, I'm going to place the website, Reclaim Your Kingdom, in the comments, where we go deep into, and I mean deep into, discipline and clarity and purposefulness and value retention and value understanding and self-awareness in this very comprehensive program. I'll see you there. There's some information on discipline. Share some thoughts and some comments. I'll see you all very soon. Power and blessings to you.